What's going on, everyone? It is Nick here with Coast Bros Gaming. Today we've got a market watch for you, but before we get into it, please make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let's get into it.
Coast Bros Gaming.
All right, so first up, I want to highlight a card that I don't think anyone sees coming, which is tuning. So tuning specifically is going to be used to search out a new Synchron monster coming out called Revolution Synchron, which can be used as an engine inside any deck as like say a small 5 to 6 card engine. And Revolution Synchron is a level 3 synchro or a level 3 Synchron main deck monster, which says that you can use it as material from the hand to synchro summon. So any level 4 on field becomes an ancient fairy dragon, and then while that card's in the graveyard and you control a dragon synchro monster, you can special summon it out as a level 1 tuner. So it links into say a Borlo Savage Dragon or even a Crystal Wing, Crystal Clear Wing, whichever the one is. I'm gonna put it up on the screen anyway. Either way, it's an extremely good card that allows some nutty plays, +2s, and gives you a negate. So I think that could see play as an engine. I would pick up some of these ultra rare tunings or even the ultis if you are keen. Next card up is a card that is already seeing a lot of hype, which is Lingaribo. The reason for this is that the Ibly lock can be cleared by just linking it off for a Lingaribo because it just requires a level 4 or lower Cyberse monster. However, you're going to want to play 2 in your extra deck because Mind Hacker and Unicorn are going to be ripping cards from your extra deck. And so they're either going to take the Zeus, the Lingaribo, or maybe even the Exciton Knight. I think Exciton Knight is really good if you're running rank 4s as well, but you need to play probably 2 Lingaribos to be able to clear this. And honestly, it's already kind of gone up. I think the ultra rares are like $6 to $8 right now, but there are still supers that are under $1. I would pick those up just so you have a couple copies because they're going to be very popular this upcoming format. The next 4 cards are going to be cards that I want to highlight because of Triple Tactics Thrust being in the format, right? These next 4 cards are cards that have seen a lot of play in the last regionals as a combat to Kashtira, and I think they're still going to see a lot of play in the upcoming format. So first up is Dimensional Barrier. Dimensional Barrier really hurts Branded, and it also hurts Kashtira, although their main deck monsters do have on-field effects. But still a good card that you can set and essentially tell your opponent, like, let's skip that your next turn, even because you did something on my turn. Next up is going to be Dark Hole. Dark Hole is so good against the Ibly lock because it clears all monsters on the field. Now with Kashtira, you're still going to have the Shang-Ira on the field, but you're not going to have your cards being banished from a Rise Heart. You're not going to be under the Ibly lock, and it's searchable through Thrust, and it's always live with Kashtira because Kashtira always uses that standby phase effect to special summon a monster, and they have the mandatory Arise Heart attach when something is banished, so they're always activating effects. Search that Dark Hole, clear the board, get out from underneath that Ibly lock. It's a good idea. The next 2 are very similar, and they are Change of Heart and Mind Control. These saw a ton of play in the last regionals. The reason being is that you can take an opponent's monster, you can attack, and then make Zeus. So in Kashtira's, you could take the Arise Heart, attack, make Zeus, clear the board, then do what you need to do in your main phase 2 because you're not locked into anything. And you cleared your zones because you got rid of the Shang-Ira. So really good play. You just need to make sure you're playing 2 Zeus because they probably would have ripped a Zeus at that point anyway. So finally, in my buy list, I'm going to put a Sword Soul Core here. If you are looking for a budget deck right now that you can play for under $100, Sword Soul is right on that line, and it's almost the full deck minus Baronne. However, Baronne is getting a reprint in the upcoming Maze of Memory set. I think Sword Soul is a really good option if you're trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh for say under $100. It is going to be right at the top of that tier 2, tier 1.5. It can compete with the meta decks. It has a good time going second. I think Sword Soul is a great option. It does get hit hard by D-Barrier, but honestly, what decks this format don't? So for the next category on this market watch, I'm going to be highlighting cards that I think you should sell right now because honestly, they've gone up too much or they're really overpriced. The three, I think, are going to be pretty obvious except for one, and we'll start off with the first one. The first one is Punk. So Punk received a huge boost because of the ban list, because previously it was hurt a lot by the shufflers because you would just shuffle back any of the deer note targets. You also, Rule Kolos was terrible because they would just basically tribute their Rule Kolos to prevent the Carp Dance, the fusion that special summons too, and that's a huge hit for Punk when that happens. And so with Tier almost basically out of the format, you can expect some more Punk players, but Punk is still really bad into Cash Tira. It doesn't set up enough negates. It's easily hit with Nibiru unless they make Barone. I would sell my Punk core ASAP. I could also see this getting reprinted in Maze of Memories, or even in, say, like the upcoming Megatins if those happen. So I would sell my Punk deck pretty soon. The second card, and honestly the second and third could probably be lumped together, which is Barone and Chimera. If you are holding a Barone, or if you have a Chimera and you're not using these cards, I would get rid of them ASAP. So Barone is getting a reprint in the upcoming Maze of Memories. It is a world premiere set, which typically does not have short prints. However, I mean, it's Konami, they could do whatever they want, but Barone is set to see at least a, say, like 50% price cut because of the fact that it's getting a reprint in the upcoming set. Chimera, I would say, even as it's a one of in a deck that, like, say, only the fusion decks, I'd say this card is a $15 to $20 card on release. When this set, I would sell them now at, say, I think they're like 40s. So, I mean, if you can sell them, play without it for like a month, and then you can get it back at like 15, that's like a $25 profit. Pretty good if you ask me. All right, guys, so that is it for today's Market Watch. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton. We'll see you next time on Ghost Bros Gaming.